Hi, everyone, and welcome. My name is Marvin Jenkins. And first, I want to apologize for any of you that were trying to get on last week and couldn't. We had a few computer problems, so we apologize for that. But again, my name is Marvin Jenkins, and I'm the coordinator for the Women's Business Center for Maryland Capital Enterprises. We're a nonprofit organization. We assist entrepreneurs who are either starting a new business or expanding an existing business. We service the Eastern Shore of Maryland. Plus, on the Western Shore, we have Baltimore City, Baltimore County, Anne Arundel County, Calvert County, and Harford County. We offer a lot of educational programs and workshops, one-on-one consulting and counseling, as well as business loan assistance. We have an office here in Salisbury, and we also have an office in Baltimore. And this is being recorded, so you will get a link to the recording and to our YouTube channel. We have a lot of other educational material out there for you. But you'll have all my information when I send out the link. And with that, today's presentation, Social Media Basics, will be done by Betsy Long, and she does quite a few of these for us here lately. So I'm going to turn it over to her and let her introduce herself.
Thank you, sir. Hi, my name is Betsy. I recognize some of you from previous um, webinars, so I appreciate you coming back. For those who don't know or aren't familiar with me, I own a company called Belong Socials. We are a social media management and consulting business. We have an office in Snow Hill, Maryland, but our client reach is from Severna Park all the way to southern Delaware. And all throughout. Um, we do content creation, we do graphic design, we do, again, consulting for small businesses for social media, and we also do the management piece, which is running social media accounts for small to medium businesses. Um, I will, at the end of the presentation, leave some time for questions, but I'll also give my contact information. I'm happy to help answer any other questions that might come up after the webinar. My presentation today is on the basics of social media as it pertains to business and marketing and making sure that you're utilizing social media for what it can do for your small business. And so I'm going to be sharing my screen. You can also put any questions in the chat. And Marvin, if you see any of those in there that need to be addressed directly, let me know. And if not, I'll save those for the end and I'll peek in there after the presentation to answer anything that comes up there. All right. So we will get started. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. All right. So, like I said, this is social media basics. This is just going to give you, oh, let me hide you really quick. There we go. Give you a basic rundown of what is social media, what it can do for your business, and ways to utilize what you have at your disposal with social media. I kind of already went over this, but this is who we are, who my business is, who I am. Um, we do specialize in authentic content collaboration and organic engagement, which I will get into a little bit more detail about and how you can embrace those things yourself. Again, content creation, management, graphic design, and consulting are our main things. We also do a lot of other stuff that is not pertinent to this conversation, but would be happy to share with you at another time. So in today's presentation, we'll cover the breakdown of social media platforms, why you should be using social media if you're not, and why you should be using it more if you're on there but not utilizing it to your full capacity. Our three keys to success and a way that you can utilize those, and then stepping up your current strategy. So we will get started. What is social media? Simple and plain, an online platform for people to connect. Over the years, social media has gone from what it is, social media, sharing with friends and family, things like that, to a great place for business owners to be, a great place to put out into the world what your business is, what you sell, what you do. Um, and for the most part, it is a free outlet in most ways. There are three main social media platforms that I'm going to cover today. That does not mean that that is it. I'm going to talk about Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. There is YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter or X, and multiple other platforms that are considered social media, but these are the main three that we focus on. And these are the three I'll be highlighting today. We'll start with Facebook. Facebook utilizes text, photo, and video to display content. It does attract an older demographic, and Facebook uses paid and targeted ads in addition to organic content, which is essentially just what you're posting on your own. It has pros and cons, as everything does. Pros, users do go to Facebook. It's becoming more prevalent for people to go to a business Facebook. Some businesses don't even have websites anymore. It's simply a Facebook page. That's where people will go to find out your hours, your specials, where are you located. It's almost becoming as common as Googling something to go to their Facebook page when it comes to a business. In this 40 plus demographic, now that's not limited. Facebook is utilized by people much younger as well. But if we're honing in on the specific demographic, your 40 plus are the original users of Facebook, and it is a comfort platform for them. It's where they're comfortable. And those people who started this journey with Facebook in college are now adults, grown adults, and they have money. They want to spend money. They want to go out to dinner. They're looking for information, and that's pretty much it. Facebook also allows you to review businesses, so you can go in and see reviews of your peers on businesses, and you can get some of that inside info through Facebook. The cons of Facebook, you do miss out on some of the younger demographic, and as time goes on, that does become a larger demographic that you're missing out on. Facebook is becoming very business centered in marketing, so it does become saturated. You do get those paid ads, and your content might get lost in Facebook or become a little monotonous, repetitive. Facebook can be a breeding ground for negativity. It is a very common practice to see these little Facebook groups pop up. I'm sure you've seen them in your own communities and business areas. So on top of those reviews that can be really positive and can help you, we also have this sort of breeding ground for negativity, where if someone has a bad experience, they can now take it to a place like Facebook and be heard, whether it's valid or not. People will check that out and will see that. So that is a difficult part of Facebook. Instagram focuses more on photos, graphics, and videos, reels, to display content attracting a younger demographic. You still have those 40 plus, but you're also getting college age people on Instagram. Instagram focuses on lifestyle and relatable content rather than the more specific traditional marketing tactics. The pros of Instagram, it is a far-reaching platform, so you're getting a larger demographic, and you're also reaching people outside of your immediate area a little bit better. Instagram, well, all platforms have an algorithm, but Instagram really does a good job of propelling their content to a targeted audience. So they are bringing your content to people who are looking for it. So you're getting a little bit more of a custom experience when you're putting your content out there. There is room on Instagram for creativity. It's a little more out of the box than Facebook. And again, it focuses on the lifestyle content rather than informational. Although it has both, Instagram, people will go to kind of see, they like seeing like the behind the scenes and things like that when it comes to business promotion. The cons, consistency is key. So you must have the time to dedicate to Instagram, and you need to be consistent, or else you will just get buried in the feed. Instagram loves to know that you are active on its platform and that you are engaging. You can't just post a picture and expect people to see it all the time. You have to interact. And that can be very time consuming and that can be a little overwhelming for people in general. Um, Again, the algorithm, we look at that as a pro and a con. The algorithm can be tricky to keep up with, which also requires your time and attention to make sure that you're staying up with the trends, seeing what's working, what's not working, and really getting in and doing that market research on Instagram. If your product targets a younger or older audience, you might miss that sweet spot in demographics, because Instagram is kind of limited in that way. You don't have a lot of younger teens and you don't have a lot of older adults. Next is TikTok, fairly new in comparison, relies on videos. There are some photo content here, but it is a lot of videos, a lot of trends, attracting a younger demographic. You do have some of that older 30s and 40s, but you're really looking at mid 30s and younger. Uh-oh, where'd the screen go? Are we good? Can you guys see that?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, sorry. Something happened to my screen. All right. Little more unconventional techniques when it comes to TikTok. Um, Pros is that it is fun and creative. You can get a little funny, you can get trendy. You have the ability to reach a worldwide audience, and there's a high potential to go viral. If going viral is something that is important to you, your best bet is going to be going on to TikTok. You can get those high views and high numbers there. Products targeting younger audiences. If you have an online product, you can sell it on TikTok, and the TikTok shop is somewhere that people go to purchase things a lot. There's an algorithm as well. TikTok has actually a very honed in algorithm. You will see specifically what you want to see and not necessarily anything that you don't want to see. It adapts quickly. The cons, TikTok has the potential to be unappealing due to the uncensored content, or more uncensored than either of the other platforms. It can be kind of easy to get lost in. And that algorithm is not location based, which means if you get those high numbers, it's not necessarily going to translate to an in-person connection. Again, online sales, yes. In-person sales or business, not as much. Again, that ultra specific algorithm, we see that as a pro and a con, because it does offer a little bit of a skewed reality, because it is so focused on what people are into and they miss a lot of other things. All right. So, with that overview done, how can social media benefit your business? Why you should be on social media, if you're not, and why you should focus more on it if you've kind of let it go. Social media is becoming the main resource for people to consume content, and that includes looking for ideas, products, and services to suit their needs. I touched on this in the beginning. It's almost like the new Google. Social media allows customers to feel a part of what or who you are and your business. It's more than marketing, it's a digital experience. Social media allows for personalized experience. It'll push your content to those who are matching your business and your aesthetics and content. Social media is great for networking and connection. It makes local and global connections possible. People can interact with your marketing in real time. You can see results as they happen. And there are a lot of options, and there continue to be more options for collaboration on these platforms where you and maybe a business that's your neighbor or something that's in a different community that suits you, or if you are a business that has multiple locations in different areas or different cities, you can collaborate all of those things together to get more eyes on what you're doing. We have found three main keys of success on social media. We've been doing this and following this sort of program for just over 3 years. And it kind of started as a trial and error. It was kind of like, hey, this feels like it will work. Now we have proven success with our, in the world is going on, proven success with our methods and consistency. So I'm sharing some of that with you today that you can use on your own. We start with authenticity. So be yourself and don't be afraid to put yourself out there. People by nature are drawn to and connect with what is real, especially with the increase we see in AI shortcuts. These shortcuts are resulting in poorly executed, inauthentic marketing, as well as a move towards, as well as overall, we're having a move towards a simpler time and nostalgia. Even when it comes to social media, authenticity and real life flawed content is more in demand than ever. Um, yes, things should still be polished and professional. Yes, there should be quality to what you're doing, but they should also be an accurate representation of who you are and what your business is. If your social media presence doesn't match your real world presence, it may not translate into real or lasting customers, and it may prevent you from building trust with clients or potential clients. And we'll get into this next part a little bit more. Um, but something that I found with a lot of clients that I consult with and clients that I end up ultimately working for is that they will work on some social media, they'll get things planned, they'll get things going, and then when it comes time to post, they 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 hit a pause and they just can't go through with the posting. And then they end up either not posting or they post and take it down. So I'm here to tell you that if you are being authentic, if you're being yourself, just put it out there. The worst thing that can happen is not as many people see it as you hoped. And again, all these things are temporary. So, if it doesn't work, you try something else and you keep going. The most important thing is to be confident, put yourself and put your business out there. Next thing is consistency, and we find this with literally everything in social media, but this is referring to your posting. So we recommend to our clients something that has worked throughout the time we've been doing this. 3 to 4 days, every 3 to 4 days, you should be posting. You'll hear a lot of different things about this. You'll hear post every day. You'll hear post 3 times a day, 5 times a day. To each their own. But I'm to share with you what has worked consistently for us is every 3 to 4 days. That's about once or twice, or that's about twice a week. Those are for your static posts. So things on your feed, important things, things you want to stick or pin. Every 3 to 4 days. If you're talking about stories, that's a great place for daily or every other day sharing. I suggest people that hold business hours post those daily on their story, posting updates, pictures, things that are happening in real time, throw those up on the story. There's really no limit to how many stories that you can post. But as far as those static posts, finding a consistent rhythm, whether it's once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, if you want to stick with the everyday posting, do it. Just make sure that it's consistent. More importantly than when and where and numbers, find something that suits your needs and helps, like that you can uphold. So you want to continue it. You want long-term consistency. So if you can only manage one post a week, stick with one post a week. Whatever it is, be consistent. This also applies to the aesthetic vibe or brand you want for your business. Try to make sure that everything you're posting follows that same sort of branding. That way people recognize it when it pops up on their feed. They're like, oh, that's a so-and-so's post. Um, Also, last but not least, don't sleep on the analytics. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, they all give you that information as to what is successful for you, what's working, what's not working. Um, just check that stuff out. On Instagram, check out your explore page. Make sure you're on the right track. That'll show you if you're looking at the proper things and engaging with the right things, and your stuff is showing up to people who are looking at things that are similar to your business. Last of our three major things is reciprocity. Don't go at it alone. We talked a little bit about collaboration. It's huge, but this is more of a focus on organic engagement. Organic engagement means you're going in 15, 20, 30 minutes a day and scrolling and looking and commenting, liking, sharing businesses' posts, sharing relevant memes or graphics, just kind of giving that love to other accounts and people that you collaborate with, to show that true engagement. Also, some strategic following and unfollowing, following pages that interact and support you. You don't need to follow every single person that follows you. You can be strategic about that. You can be choosy. And then, like I said, just 15 minutes a day. I usually set a timer, um, going in, leaving comments, liking, replying to people who have commented on your stuff, answering questions, that sort of thing is really important, to keep your content relevant. So let's talk a little bit about your current strategy. If you're already using social media or if you're thinking about getting started, there are different things that you should focus on. One is choosing your platforms. Next is organizing and your bio, building and growing, and then, of course, that silly engagement that I was just talking about that really works wonders for everybody. Let's see. Choosing your platforms. Take a look at your current platforms. Make sure you're utilizing the ones that match the goals of your business's social media presence, as well as the target demographic. I went over those platforms. I usually recommend to people starting with a Facebook page at a minimum, but Facebook and Instagram are intertwined, so it's very easy to do both. You can even cross post. So if you connect those two platforms, everything you post on one will go on the other. That's a great place to start. There is a little bit of intricacy of certain things that will do better on Facebook than Instagram. That's something you can get into later. If you just want to start out, posting on both is okay because you're reaching different people. So posting the same thing on both is completely fine. Let's see, glow up. So Facebook and Instagram, if that's where you're starting, make sure you're updating your profile picture and cover photo. It's the first thing people see when they click on your page. Also, updating your cover photo to match some sort of current special or event you have coming up is a great idea, because if people go to your page looking for info on that and they have to scroll through a bunch of other stuff, they might get frustrated and leave. But if it's that first cover photo on your Facebook, they'll see it, click on it, get the information they need. Utilizing your pinned post, you can pin a post to the top of your feed. Maybe that's something you post weekly with specials or every once in a while, or something constant that you want up there, like your hours, your website, your information. You can pin, I think, up to 3 at the top there. Facebook events, it's a great way to promote events and sales. You can invite people that follow you. You can go onto your personal page and invite people that you're friends with. And you can kind of get a feel for how many people are seeing this, how many people maybe are planning to come. If you're having an open house or something like that, you can get a decent idea of how many people are seeing that. As far as Instagram goes, update your bio, short and sweet. You only have a few characters up there, so put the pertinent information, then utilize the other contact information. links and things to put your other information in. Don't put a link in your bio. Just use that link portion where people can go in and click. Utilizing the highlights portion of Instagram, which is where you can take stories. Since your stories will go away after a certain amount of time, you can take your stories and save them in the highlights, which are at the top of your profile where people can go in and look. You can make titles for them. You can make cover photos for them so people know what they're looking at. Last but not least, is your handle effective? On Instagram, on Instagram, your handle is in all lowercase. So if you're using the name of your business and it's multiple words, it can get a little confusing. So find something creative, find something that works for you. You can also use like a dot, a period, or an underscore to make to separate those words to make it make the most sense to your viewers. Build and grow. So following other accounts that are relevant to you. Again, be aware of following too many. We talked about that in the engagement piece. And then we go back to this posting. It can be hard to feel confident about everything you're posting, but don't let that keep you from being consistent. When in doubt, post a general or introductory post, share information about your business. If you are just coming back to social media, or if you've taken a break or a hiatus, try reintroducing yourself or posting like an in case you missed it post. If you need inspiration, observe popular pages within your niche. These can serve as inspiration. Please don't steal, but people are inspired by other people on social media all the time. Give credit where it's due, but you can use those things and spin them into your business or product to help promote yourself. Creating content. If you have blocks of time where you can create content, pictures, videos, things you can use when you're having a creative block, that makes it easier to stay consistent. And last but not least, cross promote. So if you have a store, if you have a brick and mortar, if you have business cards, make sure you're putting your social media information in those places where people can see it. A QR code is great. People scan on their phone and just go right to your social media to follow. It's important to keep those traditional marketing ideas in mind when it comes to growing your social media. Engagement, coming back to this a little bit more in depth, 20 to 30 minutes per day, liking, sharing, comment, reposting, and supporting. If you're showing that authentic and genuine support of your followers, it will be repaid. It also signals to those platforms that you're an active participant, not just a passive poster. This time can also be spent reviewing your analytics and seeing what's working and what needs a pivot, observing trends and competitors. That's pretty much all I have for you today. You can, of course, find us on social media. I will throw my email address in the chat, and I will also answer any questions that you might have at this point. Let me really quick stop sharing my screen. If I can figure that out. Stop. Hi. Okay. Okay. Any questions?
None in the chat so far.
Okay. Hi, Nisa.
Anybody have any questions, or now's the time?
I just want to say thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
You guys did a great job and beautiful presentation. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Same here, Bessie. Thank you. That was
Thank
a
you
great
so
presentation.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming back to another webinar. Appreciate
Mhm.
you. I'm putting my email in the chat right now. Feel free to send me any questions that come up, any questions you have that maybe I didn't address.
Okay.
Susan, okay, does video content provide more engagement? Susan, it depends on what types of videos. It depends on your product and your niche. It can. Video content can. People like video, a bakery. Okay, perfect. Yeah, video content with a bakery is probably going to be a great avenue for you. You can do, like people will watch the time lapses of you decorating cakes. I mean, that's a huge niche. People love to see that kind of stuff come to life. Um, I've been known to watch like cookie and cake decorating forever. Best platform, you're probably looking at TikTok, just for exposure. But if you're looking for, are you local, like a local brick and mortar? If you're looking for local customers, probably Instagram too. But the great thing about that is you can recycle content. So if you're making reels on Instagram, you can throw them right on TikTok. Um, yeah, yeah, it's really that's huge. I mean, if you can find a setup for your camera right above your hands or whatever you're doing and just time lapse it or add some trendy music, things like that, I think you'll get a good following off of that. People will recognize that.
I do have a question. My name is Sharonda.
Uh-huh.
I guess one of the things I struggle with is finding the right setup. So I think the camera I have is pretty good,
Uh-huh.
but then like I had ordered a stand, tripod stand as well as a microphone,
Uh-huh.
and it happened to be for an iPhone. So now I'm back to square one again. So like, what is one of the like a? Can you like provide us with some links to resources or we can find like a easy, affordable or low price tripod and microphone that goes to like any iPhone? And then the other thing I had a question with is the editing part. You
Uh-huh.
know how like that's the part I struggle with, and that keeps me like really not doing it. The editing. I know you can do some editing on Instagram, but some people got it down to where they can have one spot where they like maybe in the bedroom and the next is boom, then the kitchen
Yeah.
and boom. Like how you get those clean cut,
Look,
sharp edits.
it can be extremely frustrating to get that. Like I hear you 100%, and it's definitely something that through practice, unfortunately, is the best way to do it. Um, I personally do all my editing in in Instagram for the most part, but you can also edit. Do you use Canva at all? That's another one where you can edit, and it can be a little easier on Canva because you can use your computer rather
Well, I
than
do. Yeah, I do have
the
Canva. I never used Canva for that, but I would definitely look into that.
So you can, I find it a little bit easier sometimes if you're making those tiny little micro edits to use Canva because you can use a PC and a mouse rather than like once you're in Instagram and I'm trying to move it with my finger, like I'll lose my mind. I will lose my mind trying to edit that perfectly. So yes. And when it comes to like products, I use my iPhone a lot. I do have, and I can send it to you. If you shoot me an email, because I'll forget, I can send you. I have a tripod that I use. I have an attachment on it that has one of those circle magnets that I can connect my phone to.
Okay.
That's really helpful. And I actually just got new mini mics that I use, and they're awesome. So, and they were cheap. They were probably like $20 for two mics. And
Okay.
then the tripod was in, I have a hard time spending money on those things because I destroy them all. So I'm
Gotcha.
always
Gotcha.
looking for those. Amazon's a big place. But I will send that. Yeah, if you guys can shoot me an email or drop your email in the chat, I'll send that out in an email what I'm using. Don't think it's special, but it does work for me. So
Yes,
okay.
I just need something very simple, straight to the point, and lighting. So the little thing, the magnet you have, that gives good lighting no matter what time of the day it is,
So
or
that one I don't have a light for. I have a ring light that I use, and then I have a light that attaches to my phone that I'll send also.
okay.
Um, I'm a huge, huge fan of natural light, but that's not always possible, I know. And there's not,
Yeah.
you know, fortunately for me, my office is a storefront, so it has a huge window, which is amazing. For like an hour of the day, I can come in here and be like, oh, perfect lighting. Um, but yeah, it's a lot easier to manufacture that light when you need to.
Okay.
Yeah, I got those emails. I'll send that out to you all, those links for you to check out. And then there was another question from Julie. Is there a trick to figuring out timing when it's best to post on your socials? So your analytics will give you that. Instagram actually does this really cool. Let me pull up my Instagram on my phone so I can tell you where to find it.
Okay.
They do like a weekly one now, which is really cool. Let's see. If you go to your Instagram page and you go to like your notifications, so the little heart in the top corner,
Okay.
it'll say it looks like it comes through on Sundays because I just got one what day is it? Oh, my Tuesday. It says your weekly recap is ready. And then it'll say, see how sharing content consistently for blank, whatever number of weeks has paid off. So if you click through that, it's going to show you how long you've been consistent for. This account that I'm looking at right now says 12 weeks. And then it's going to tell you how many views you got that week. It's going to tell you whether your views are down or up. And then if I'm right, oh dang, where is it? There should be an area on there that tells you what time of day. Of course, it's not coming up for me now. So if you click through that, you can see they must tell you different stuff every week. And then you can go to your insights and it should show you let's see, best practices. That's a good question. They like to change where this stuff is too. So if you go into your insights and you're looking around in there is an area somewhere, I'm gonna find it, that tells you when people are looking at your stuff. However, I'm gonna tell you this from an experience standpoint. Posting is posting. Posting anytime. You will start to see. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if this is going to show me. And then I'll tell you. There we go. Okay. So in Instagram, if you find your professional dashboard, which is going to be on your main profile screen, and then you look at something called monthly recap, you can pull that up and it should have, mine has all the way to December 2025. So
Okay.
depending on how long you've been doing it. And then, so if I look at March 2026, it gives me some stuff, but then it gives me this screen. Here's when your followers have been most active recently. And
Okay.
this is telling me Mondays, 6 to 9 p.m., Thursdays, 6 to 9 p.m., and Sundays, 6 to 9 p.m.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it will tell you something different for whatever account you have and when people are actually looking at it.
Okay.
So, and it does update that monthly. So if it changes, it's going to show you that too. Let me look back at February. Yep. Well, nope, it's been pretty consistent. So I will tell you that 6 to 9 p.m. time is consistent for a lot of my accounts, depending, because that's when people get home and that's when they're finishing up dinner. That's when their kids are going to sleep and they're like, let me get a little scroll in really quick, let me go check out what's been going on the internet today.
The distraction.
Yes, yes, for sure. So that's 6 to 9 p.m. time. But like I said, if you hold on, let me write in here. Professional, Susan, I'm typing it in, but professional dashboard on Instagram specifically. I don't know if Facebook does it too, but it's going to take you to the professional dashboard and then you would look at your monthly recap. Again, the consistency for me, like, it's more important than the timing. It's that you're doing it, that you're going in and doing it, because people are going to see it at different times too. Have you ever been scrolling and seen something and been like, oh, what's this? And it's from like February.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? Like, it's still gonna come up. But knowing when your followers are online is a great tool, because then if you've got something that needs to go out like with urgency, like, hey, this is tomorrow, like, okay, I'll post that this evening, And in the time and space that we live in, where people are very busy, very overwhelmed, I've even found that, like, of course, preparation is everything, but people will see things like the day up. Like, if you're promoting something and you're like, oh, it's too late, it's happening tonight. Like, don't think that. Like, post it anyway, put it on there, because people will see it and they'll be like, oh, that's tonight. And they're more likely to like remember, show up,
Okay.
go. Like it's
Mhm.
it's important to be prepared. It's important to start early as you can promoting stuff, but with social media specifically, you can get that day of participation on that as well.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have two more questions.
Sure.
Is there any way you can share your IG page with us or me so I can see your work, like see
Yes.
everyday work? And then also, what are your thoughts of paying for Instagram, paying to get more viewers? Do you think that's effective, or like what's the pros and
Uh,
cons, if any?
I have a lot of feelings about this. I'll try to make it short and sweet. I just dropped my Instagram into the chat. You can check it out. We do highlight our clients, so you'll see on our stories stuff we've posted for our clients. You'll see information on our personal posts, but we repost everything we post for our clients on our stories so you can see the quality. And something I really want to point out, just a small little plug for myself and a plug to show you how consistency and authenticity pay off, is that our goal is to make sure that our clients in our client social media look as if they're doing it themselves. So if you check out our clients, if you check out their different feeds and I think there's even a post we just did about their different explore pages, you can see that there's a difference. You're not going to look at our post and be like, oh, that was done by Belong Socials, like, right? So you're going to look at the post and say that was done by this business. So that's one of those things I was talking about, the importance of authenticity and branding. But what was the other thing that you're talking about? Oh, paid followers. I have been fortunate enough to have some clients decide that they want to do this. I don't give advice on it. That's up to them if they want to do it. But I will tell you that most of it is not worth it. I have a client that had recently asked me, can we do this paid thing? It was someone who approached them in their DM saying, hey, I'll get you 1,000 followers. I'll get you 200 followers, whatever, $20. I'll repost your stuff. I'll get all my followers to follow you, that sort of thing. Did he get followers? Yes. Did he get engagement? Yes. So those things happened. It did boost his numbers. It pushed him into the algorithm. However, each and every one of those followers, I did my research because I was so intrigued by this, and I've always been intrigued by this. It's a robot. It's AI. It's a fake account. It's boosting your numbers. Yes. Are you getting real followers out of it? I don't believe so. Are you getting people who are going to utilize your business? I don't think so. For me, and I preach this all the time to my clients because I think we've been conditioned to think like, hey, you got a lot of followers, you're doing really well on Instagram. Like, if you look at my clients and you look at their followers, it may not be impressive. I have clients with anywhere from 100 to 3,000 followers, but I can guarantee you that each and every one of those followers that they have was reached organically, authentically. It's somebody who's actually paying attention to what they're doing. It's someone who's interested in what they're doing. And if you look at the slow growth over a time period, that's going to be way more valuable to you than anything you could pay for like a quick boost. And we are seeing in the trends of social media that, think about it, if you are a user of social media, you go into these platforms and it's enough to get through and look at the stuff before you even consider liking something, commenting on it, sharing it. So what we really focus on are views. So if you look, this is interesting because we just did it's interesting to me, sorry if it's not interesting to anybody else. We just did our insights for Q1 because obviously this is the first day of Q2. And if you look at my accounts, you'll see things like 61 new followers in 3 months, which does not seem like a lot, right? But you'll see 112,000 views in 3 months. So maybe you got 60 followers off of it. And if that's the number that you're looking at, that might not be impressive. But when you look into their views, they're having individual views 112,000 in 3 months. Because people are looking, they're seeing, they're telling their friends, they're remembering it, but they're not necessarily liking or following because it's too much effort. So you have those quiet people who are following you, watching what you're doing and viewing, and you can see that information without those kind of jumpy, like flashy numbers. So I don't know if that was a rant or if that answered your question. So I'm sorry.
No, it definitely answered, and
Yeah.
that led me to think about my TikTok page, which I really don't, I'm not on TikTok, but I sing, and one of my girlfriends was like, you should put your videos on TikTok because when she would record me, she would get so many like views and likes. But I got for one of my videos, I got almost 8,000 views and got like 10 hearts. I'm
Yeah.
like, what in the
Yeah.
world? How you get
It's
almost 8,000 views and only 10 likes?
yeah, it
Like,
seems crazy,
how
right?
fast is the world moving? Like,
Yeah, it is, but but honestly, like, and I unfortunately for myself and everyone around me, I get a lot of my insight from being a consumer of social media. And when you think about it in that way, if you are a consumer of social media, how often are you looking at things and like sending it to your friend or going past it or like making a mental note of it, but you're not taking the time to like it or share it or follow that person, especially on TikTok. Do you know how many TikTok videos I have to see of somebody before I actually go look at their profile and follow them? Probably like 20 because I'm just whoop, whoop, whoop through. But I would be like, hey, you know that girl on TikTok that does blah, blah, blah? But if you go to my account, I'm not following because that took too much effort, right? So when you're looking at views and you're seeing these views come through on your page, like that to me is so much more valuable than liking follows, which are important and you want to maintain and you want to get those followers that are gonna stick with you and support you and comment on your stuff. But truly, you really just want people to see it. You want it out there. You want people to be seeing it. So in my mind, to me, that's more important at this specific juncture in social media history.
Anybody else have any questions or?
No? Yes?
No?
Well,
Well, I thank you, Betsy.
yes, thank you for having me. Also, quick plug, I'm doing another webinar next week. Same day, same time, so Wednesday at noon. And it is specifically about Facebook and the difference between paid advertising and organic, which clearly you can tell I feel passionate about. So it's specific to Facebook.
Yeah.
It's about when you should be paying for boosting posts and things like that, and when you should not. What it is good for and what is better with organic. So come back, tell your
Yeah,
friends.
and when I send out the link to the this recording, if you click on the link there, it'll take you to where you can register for that class, and we've got other classes following that. The next week we have a first steps to starting your own business class, and then the week after that, business plans and cash flow projections, how to develop them. So I thank you again, Betsy. It was enlightening as usual for me, anyway.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
See ya.
See ya.